What's up, guys? Steve here. Welcome back to my channel where we're going over our Turo fleet and our rental fleet and just how to make it run as smoothly as possible. If you guys are new to this whole thing called Turo or this car sharing platforms period, it's exactly that. It's a car sharing platform where you're able to rent out your cars to fellow peers and not have to use traditional big box companies. You guys know what's up. As you guys know by now, I normally go through and do a monthly basically cash flow, what my monthly earnings were, and if you guys haven't noticed, I didn't put in August yet. So we are going to get August done right now. So let's jump right into it. All right, so we are jumping into this, and I got August right here, right up front. We got $4,101. So that was what we made, and then there was some reimbursements right there, $236 for reimbursements, but for the most part, $4,101. Now I know you're gonna say, man, you're looking at my cars listed, it shows 7 up there, and you're also looking at the amount that we made, the cash flow, and it's just like, what the heck, what is wrong with that? Okay, so remember, August was a slow month. You guys were starting to see it with everybody. You were starting to see it with other COVID cases coming in, but the biggest contributing factor was gonna be school started back up, and basically everybody's grounded, everybody's at home, and multiple things basically tied into this. So I know you guys are all feeling it all across, and hopefully you guys paid attention to some of the other videos that I had, which was, where the crash is at in Turo and car rentals period, what it's looking like, what to expect, and hopefully you guys learned from that. But basically exactly that. So once school started, you also had another variant, and then on top of that, the other thing, that major contributing factor is the stimmy checks. They got cut. The stimmy checks got cut, so no one's stimulus rich anymore. So now you're starting to see a little bit of cutbacks on rentals. Now, when you guys look at this stuff, the first thing you're going to see is you're going to see those high-end exotic cars. Those things are going to slow down tremendously. We saw this with COVID with our other fleet, and it just boom, instantly, anything where people are worried about money, penny pinching, all that, they basically stop spending the high roller type stuff. And then you start to slowly see the luxury cars. Then you start seeing that happening. And then the last one they usually go, but it usually kind of sticks around, is your commuter cars. That's why I always say, make sure you guys diversify. The commuter cars are always going to be up and around, just for the mere fact of somebody's got to get to and from work if their car's in the shop, or they just want a fuel saver to go wherever they're going. But besides that, let's get back into this. So if we go over here to my Fiesta, so we go for August, that thing made $747. Now, once again, just know this is earnings. This is what my take is after Turo does their percent, and this does not show my expenses. It's just straight earnings. So you got $774, and that will go, we can go over here to the Fiesta itself, go over to vehicles, and we'll show you how much this thing was actually rolling in August. So look at that. August, it was actually booked out the whole month, so not too bad. It looks like 3 trips. 3 trips, and the other one ended a couple weeks into September. But that just kind of gives you, that thing was gone for the whole month. I couldn't have asked for anything better with that. But let's go back over to our earnings. Go to vehicles, Ford Focus. Now this one was sitting at $584. We have seen obviously better months where it was a little over 800, 7, almost 800, and then this one, it just dived down quite a bit. So you can tell just by my earnings, you're going to see that there's a dip with everything. It's not just you guys out there, it's everybody. Everybody across the board was seeing this. That's why I always say make sure you plan for the worst and just make sure you're ready to go rock and roll. So we'll go over here to the Focus, go to my calendar, and you'll see August was just very sporadic with rentals. It's all over the place, and I kept messing with numbers and trying to figure out how to go get it out on the road without it having to, without me paying somebody to rent my car out, because that's the last thing I want to do is completely lose money on this. I know my bottom dollar of what it takes to basically just cover the bills for the month, so I make sure I try not to go anything below that. If I make anything above that, then it's plus, but for the most part, just make sure I get what I need to. So the Focus, like I said, it was very sporadic. And most of those bookings were last minute bookings, nothing in advance. So you can see where it gets a little nerve-wracking if you're not ready for it. Now we can go over here to the Honda Civic. So the Honda Civic didn't do that great either, $557. Nothing compared to its almost $1,000 month there. Even the month prior was $900. So that gives you an idea of what that looks like. Let's go to the calendar. And there you go. That is absolutely horrible. Look at all them gaps. Now, sadly, with this, I'm on an iPhone. I know some Androids, I think you can look at it this way. On desktop, you definitely cannot. You can't go back to all of your past. So make sure you guys are keeping track of what your prices were at this point. So that way next year, when it comes around in July, you can look at it and say, hey, July is pretty booked up, but I need to start lowering the prices because I know people are going to be booking for August. And you don't want to be left in the dust. And like I said, all of these things were just last minute bookings. So that kind of gives you an idea. And even this month, it's very sporadic. That's a little jump into September. But for August, there you go. That's exactly what I had for the Civic. Now let's go back over here to earnings. Jump down to the Hyundai Accent. Hyundai Accent didn't do too bad. It actually did better than the Civic, $714. Jump over here, Accent, calendar. And boom, there you go. For the most part, it was booked out for majority of the month. There was almost a full week there, the end of August, beginning of September, that it didn't run out. Looked like 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4 days that it didn't run out in August. So that kind of gives you an idea as well. But you can tell that the Accent, those commuters, man, they just move. Always constantly moving. I mean, I know the Civic, basically all my cars are commuters, but these cheaper commuters just always tend to be out. The Jeep, that thing's just listed on there. Honestly, it has 2 trips on it. You're not gonna see anything on that because I have it set for a 5-day minimum, and it's just basically there for looks. It is ridiculously overpriced, and like I said, a 5-day minimum towards if it rents out, then it rents out, and I don't care. That means it's doing really well. So that's why you won't see anything in there. That was the first trip or the first month, but that's it. So let's go down to the Kia Forte, the GT. So over in August, this one actually did very well. If you guys noticed in the other videos, I always just talk crap on this car saying, man, this thing is just a pain. It actually did pretty well. So almost $980. I don't think, no reimbursements there, but that's what the Forte did. And let's see what that looks like for the month. Once again, that thing was booked out majority of the month, just kind of like the week before, the month before. So it's staying pretty consistent. This month, September, it's looking pretty bad, but for the most part, that thing's doing very well. So let's go jump into the Mazda. This one is snoozed right now, so I'm getting new headlights for it because it is dry, cracked. I just need to figure something out with that. It did book out a little bit. This was the last trip it went on for 3 days. That's where the guy put almost 2,000 miles on it in those 2.5 days. Man, that guy was just, I don't know. There was a whole lot of weird with that one, but for the most part, like I said, I downed it. I've been using it personally when we're not using the Jeep, or when we're using the Jeep. If the wife's using the Jeep, I have a car to use to run around, and it's cheap enough. I'm really not worried about it. But for earnings, the Mazda 6 made $520 with $203 reimbursement. The July had $153 in reimbursements. That's where you can kind of see where I'm just not quite sure how I want to go about this car. It's just kind of one of those ones where, did I make a mistake with it? Maybe, but I think it's just an older car, so I just need to basically kind of lower my expectations with those things as far as the renters, the clientele that I'm going to get with it. This was the one where it was booked out the full month, and this was 2 rentals on there. So you can see every time I end up having to do reimbursements, I end up pulling it down for some reason, just because I get that weird feeling about it. And honestly, I just need to kick that feeling and just either go full bore and just list it and be done with it, like let's go, or I need to sell it off and say, you know what, be gone, be done with you. So that's where I need to really just figure out where I need to go with that. All right, so we're back at it. That was basically everything that was happening in August. Now we have September, which was kind of a little bit slower for us, just for the mere fact of, once again, school, the stimulus checks, those things have basically gone non-existent, so people aren't willing to spend money as much as they were before. And because you got to face it, when you're able to stay home and basically make more than you were working, so now you're able to travel for ultimately free, why not? But now all of a sudden everybody's getting those cuts and they're just thinking, no, we should probably save money where we can. So that's why I'm getting a lot of the last minute bookings for basically somebody whose car's in the shop or somebody who's going out of town just for the weekend. Now I realize there are quite a few people still flying in here, but for the most part I don't really deliver to the airport. I have it set up to where I will, but I don't. It's high enough that somebody's not really going to book it, and if they do, it's worth my while. So that's why I was able to figure out how I wanted to move my cars, basically what my bottom line was for my cars, to where I'm losing money or if I'm just breaking even. And honestly, between August and some of September, it's basically going to be a wash. It's going to be just kind of letting it ride, see what happens, and then October, November, it's just really going to amp up here in Arizona. And I mean, let's face it, the summers suck out here. The winter is going to be when everybody's out here. That's when all the snowbirds come down. If you guys don't know what a snowbird is, it's basically the commuters that follow the winter, follow the summer, just follow the nicer weather, just like a snowbird would, just like a bird would. So that's basically all I got going on. Make sure you guys are definitely keeping up with all this stuff. And know that this is a year-round job. It's a year-round business. So you are going to have highs and lows, and just make sure you prepare for those lows and you're completely ready and just go full throttle into the highs. I mean, once those come around, there ain't no holding back. There's no shutting down cars to get stuff done to them because they're in such high demand. So make sure you guys are constantly going after this. And make sure you guys are ready and set up for the high demand times. And once again, make sure you're diversifying. I know everybody's wanting to have those fancy cars, but when it comes down to it and people start saving money, those fancy cars are the first ones to go. Commuter cars are always on the road. So hope this helps you guys out a little bit, kind of gives you an idea of what I actually made here, or my earnings. Not actually what I made, because obviously there's bills and all that, but for the most part, there's my cash flow that's coming in just off the earnings for August. And I'm really hoping that October, November, December, those are just going to go through the roof for us out here in Arizona. And it's just like some places in California, Southern California. This is kind of our time to really shine, while everybody else is just kind of like, we want to get out of the snow. We want to go where it's nice out. That's where it really helps us out. So know your guys' market. Make sure you dig deep into it. If you guys need any help at all, by all means, hit me up. I got those free consultations right now going, so there's absolutely no reason that you guys should be struggling with any of this stuff. You can reach out anytime, just book an appointment, whatever you need. Got the courses, whatever you guys need. Definitely tons of information on there, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, y'all. Later.